10 years ago, Jeff Johns and I came up with this idea. It started with the idea of the emotional spectrum, this kind of revolutionary idea for Green Lantern that, maybe there were other colors, other color lanterns. We talked about that in the last video. We talked about how the Yellow Lantern Corps led to the idea that the Red Lantern Corps and the Blue Lantern Corps and the Indigo Lantern Corps and all these other corps should exist out there. Each color representing a different emotion, a different motivation, so that the entire rainbow, Roy G. Biv, would be represented by organized, religious, sometimes police forces that all had rings and symbols and oaths. As soon as this started to flesh itself out, Jeff Johns had this idea. He said, what about black lanterns? And I said, oh, that's a cool idea, black lanterns. And he said, well, I've had this thing in my head for a long time. I want to reveal what the Guardians have been worried about in the Book of Oa. All this time they've been talking about some dark impending event, of the reason why the Green Lantern Corps exists. And that became the event that you know as Blackest Night, that idea. Now, what were black lanterns? Black lanterns were going to be resurrected, dead characters from the DCU, both villains and heroes, and sometimes even just ordinary people. Jeff had a whole list of deceased DC characters from the past and the present that he thought would be really cool as sort of reanimated zombies. They'd be given these black rings and told to rise, and they'd be reanimated, and they would seek, revenge and all this wonderful stuff. So it would be a big zombie plague, Green Lantern style. Fantastic idea. Now, at the same time, I had been talking to Dan DiDio, and actually everybody was. I mean, a lot of people were concerned about the Flash franchise. It wasn't doing so well at the time, and I kept saying, hey, let us bring back Barry Allen. If we could bring back Barry Allen, then, as the Flash, I think we could really relaunch the Flash franchise in a new and positive way. Give it to Jeff and I will do Flash Rebirth. So while Jeff and I were developing Blackest Night, that was being stewed over, I think, by DC editorial. And you can see, during this time, I was working on creating the designs for the Black Lanterns. What they were going to look like. You have Black Lantern Earth 2 Superman. You've got Black Lantern Firestorm. You've got the recently deceased Black Lantern Martian Manhunter, complete with a hole through him. Okay, it's like I think he had a javelin put through him, and that's how he died. So I left a hole through him. You have Black Lantern Deadman, and let's see, what was another one that I did? Black Lantern Aquaman. Okay, so these were all characters that were going to be reanimated as Black Lantern zombies. Jeff was giving me a bigger and bigger list. In the meantime, these designs were being made into toys while the property or the book was being developed. So, all of a sudden, DC editorial decided, yeah, let's bring back Barry Allen. Now, Barry Allen had died in Crisis. He was dead. He, had been dead for almost 25 years at that point. People thought he died a heroic death. People were not anxious in editorial to bring him back because they were just so pleased with the way he had died. And Wally West, up until that point, was doing a good job serving as the Flash. Everybody loves Wally. I love Wally too. But it was time for a change. It was time for something new, or something old again. Now, speculate with me for a minute. If DC editorial had not said, bring back Barry Allen as the Flash, it's quite possible that the Blackest Night event would have been spearheaded by Black Lantern Barry Allen. Of course, because he's one of the most famous deceased DC heroes. He would have been a Black Lantern, and he would have been a kick-ass Black Lantern. Totally awesome. But, we did Flash Rebirth, and Barry Allen was in Blackest Night, but he was in it as Hal Jordan's partner and a big hero in the story. Makes you wonder, though, what would have happened if Barry Allen was a Black Lantern in Blackest Night? What would he have looked like? Well, as the guy who did the original designs for the Black Lanterns, I'm in a unique position to tell you. You want to see what Barry Allen, Black Lantern, might have looked like? You do? All right, let's go do it. This should be interesting. After all, what was left of Barry Allen after his death in Crisis on Infinite Earths? Some dust? A few bones? Fragments? But that's what Blackest Night is all about. Now picture those fragments moving. Decaying bone, muscle, moving at the speed of light, reforming itself, taking the shape of a man again. A running, screaming, awful corpse with a ring on one hand. A black ring. And the ring pops open. But instead of a shiny, beautiful red costume folded up inside, out comes a slick, oily, black, corrupt uniform. The uniform of a Black Lantern. And Barry Allen, what's left of him, this mockery, this hateful, twisted mockery of Barry Allen, our hero, puts the suit on at a speed close to the speed of light. This is Black Lantern Flash, and he's come back for revenge against the people who love him. Yeah. And this is what it's all about right here. Now, I had designed an original suit. We wanted to incorporate the black hand symbol, which soon became the symbol for the Black Lantern Corps. And we wanted to work it carefully into the uniform of every Black Lantern. So there's almost like a basic Black Lantern suit, and then you want to kind of combine it. You want to mash it up as much as possible with the uniform that each character was last seen in. For some reason they have short sleeves. I think it's just to show the just meaty, fleshy arms with veins in them. I don't know, maybe I just thought it looked cool. It was good for summertime. Yeah. Picture this thing running. I mean, you know, the one of the worst zombie movies, one of the most terrifying zombie movie franchises, 28 days later, 28 weeks later, terrifying because the zombies run. And the thing about zombies is they don't get tired. So imagine being chased tirelessly by this guy who can run faster than Superman. He'd be very dangerous. Let's add a little color to him. I wanted to keep them gray, only in gray tones. They're like black and white television images of the characters that we all knew and loved back when they were colorful. These are just reproductions past their prime. Scary. Yeah. Not bad. Let's put some speed lines on this guy. At super speed. And then we've got to add the crackling electricity. And we'll do that next. I mean, you know, I wanted everything to look photo negative. That was my original idea for Blackest Night. I wanted the black light to work as a photo negative. I thought it would look way creepier. And let's sign it real quick here. Yeah, here it is, finished. This is, I guess, what I think Black Lantern Barry Allen would look like. Terrifying, ferocious, but a lot of fun. I hope you dug it. I hope it was fun to watch. I do this for you guys. You have to understand. DC's not asking me to do this. I do it because I love you guys. And I hope that you will return that love by sharing this video, hitting subscribe if you haven't yet, hitting the bell for notifications. Tell your friends. Retweet this video all over the place and tell them to subscribe to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I'm Ethan Van Sciver. Thank you for joining me again. Bye-bye.